Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have an update from the most accurate pollster since 2016. Actually, they were the most accurate in 2016, and then 2020, they did overfavor Democrats, and that is Rasmussen, and they do polling every day. You can see tomorrow they're going to have another update. They've called out all the other pollsters. They're really not doing many national polls right now, but I think Rasmussen's going to have another national poll tomorrow. You can see what it will likely be. They do have Donald Trump with a 2-point lead right now over Kamala, which is certainly different, although there was another national poll today that came out in just a head-to-head battle, Trump versus Kamala, that did have Trump +2. And so you're seeing all these swing state polls with Harris leading by 3, 4, 5 points. It's creating this narrative, and at this point, I mean, CNN's even getting angry about it, but it's creating this narrative that, this is the same as 2020. Harris is going to win, just like Biden did in all the swing states, and it's ridiculous what's going on. CNN's calling out, this is Jim Aasta, he's asking the campaign director for Kamala, he's like, this is ridiculous, this is embarrassing, are you going to do a press conference? And the dude's like, well, we're not going to do that, we can't do it yet, it's going to happen eventually, we're focused on reaching the voter. And Acosta's like, yeah, we know you're going to do your rallies so she doesn't have to face any questions, but when will the press conference be? And they can't even commit to a press conference by the end of the month. So that's even CNN now having to question and say she hasn't done anything. And of course, I had said, and many other people said, when it came out that she was going to do a sit-down interview with someone, it probably would come after the DNC. And so the DNC is next week, and then maybe she sits down with someone at the end of August. It's like pulling teeth. And to be honest, and I'll give credit to Biden, at least Biden did more than her, which I thought was going to be almost impossible, right? Like, there's no way. Now, Biden probably wasn't the great, in terms of the rallies, and he couldn't motivate people, but he did do a lot of those interviews, and he was kind of forced to do the interviews towards the end. He wanted to remain in office. He's confirmed it. He said he wanted to stay, and he was not allowed to. They knew he was going to lose, so they got him out, and they told him we can do it the easy way or the hard way. They threatened him with the 25th Amendment, and he confirmed that in an interview, in a Sunday interview this past week, where he said, yeah, they basically threatened me. This was not my choice. It just is what it is. They showed me the polls and said, you're going to lose. You need to drop out to save democracy. So they said, you're going to lose if you don't drop out, and then Trump gets in. And then Biden's sitting there like, well, isn't this anti-democracy if you install her and take me out? I mean, this is pathetic. What is this? Of course, they're pure hypocrites. They can't answer it. Only 26% of Democrats oppose an audit to scrub non-citizens off the voter rolls. It's a no-brainer. Well, no, it's not. See, the thing is, let's just stop doing this. Democrats want illegals voting. That's bottom line, end of story. It's time and time and time and time and time again. That's why when they tried to pass the act, two or 3 months ago, whenever it was, to make it to where you had to show voter ID, and it was common sense voter laws to make sure that only legal citizens are voting, they voted against it. They do want illegals voting. They've admitted it. We got to stop this thing where we tiptoe around it. No. They want illegals voting. And this is a good example of just some of those weird polling situations. It came out of Cook Political report today. So you can see an Arizona poll that has Harris up by 2. Georgia has it as a tie. Michigan, Harris +3. Nevada, Trump +3. North Carolina, Harris +1. Wisconsin, Harris +3. And then Pennsylvania, Harris +1. And then you've also got Quinnipiac, the tag team of death, Cook Political and Quinnipiac right next to each other. But this is the issue with that people were saying when you look at the release date, or when this poll was done, the numbers were July 26th through August 2nd. So the idea that you're going to wait 12 days to release that poll that was done well over 2 weeks ago, right in the heart of the whole Kamala hype and everything like that, to try and insinuate that she's still holding the hype. And look, maybe she is, we don't know, but there's no reason to hold polling data, and this is what people have said, there's no reason to hold polling data for 2 weeks. Now, I wonder if it will show when this was done. There it is. Well, you can't really see it. It's right there, July 26th through August 2nd. So, very strange that they would wait that long. I don't know about Quinnipiac. I mean, Quinnipiac it's within the margin of error in Pennsylvania. I don't know if they only released Pennsylvania polls. Man, the Cook Political Report, well, they just did the 5-way. Yeah, that's all that is. That's the Florida poll from Florida Atlantic with Trump only up by 3. And I think that's it. So very strange to hold a poll for 2 weeks when you do the poll during I mean, the last day that data was taken from that poll was August 2nd. So that it's 12 days later, and they started it July 26th. So, I mean, what are we really doing here? The one time they let Kamala talk after this, Obama was like, nah, you ain't talking again. Well, this was funny, but Biden stole the show.
The importance of having a president who understands the power of diplomacy and understands the strength that rests in understanding the significance of diplomacy and strengthening alliances. This is incredible.
Oh, man. Well, no, then Biden walks back on the plane and then has to be, taken off. He thought they were boarding right after they had gotten off. That's how sad it is with Biden. So here's Aasta starting to get angry. And this was eventually going to happen with the media where it's like, my God, you've got 5 days until the DNC. It's happening on Monday. She still hasn't had a press conference or done anything. And now even the liberal mainstream media are starting to question this, and you've got one of the campaign managers just giving total non-answers, talking about it's more important to do rallies, be out on the trail. And honestly, to their credit, it's worked, at least if you believe the polls. And certainly, I mean, let's make no mistake, she's polling way better than Biden did, even if we believe that the polls are a bit wrong and probably skewing with all of the hype too much in her direction. I mean, it's obvious she's polling better than Biden. So if you're them, you're being rewarded by not doing anything other than just going in your little safe space at your rallies, saying the one-liners. They do it. She says 5 words. They clap for 30 seconds. She says 3 words. They clap for another 15 seconds. And so they are trained monkeys. It's just like going from Biden to Kamala. All of these people were embarrassed. Well, to be fair, a lot of the younger people did want Biden gone within the Democratic Party, but there were still people that liked Biden and they said that he was going to win and everything like that. And they just switched right from Biden to Kamala. They've got no loyalty at all. There's no loyalty to a particular candidate. It's all about a cog. That's why I find it funny when you compare Democrats and Republicans. Now with Trump, that's a leader. That's a real leader. He's the leader of the party. That's why they call it a cult. With the Democrats, it's just everyone's a cog. It's all brain dead zombies. No matter who the candidate is, we support. We support. We support. January 6th, January 6th, January 6th. Worse than 9/11, January 6th, January 6th. That's all they do. And that's why they worship January 6th and they try and use it as leverage. They don't have that leverage anymore after everything that's come out now. Nancy Pelosi admitting she didn't have the proper police. I mean, have you seen the videos where they break through? There's like 10 police officers there. It's a joke. And like have the informants get through and then the Trump supporters follow them. So when it comes to this, it's like every Democrat is just a cog. It's like you program a bunch of robots no matter what, whether it's Biden, Kamala, maybe they were going to install Newsom. The candidate doesn't matter. So attacking Kamala, it's almost like a lose-lose because it's like goldfish and they get food and they just all go to it. And it's like the meme where you take the NPC and you just insert another brain chip. Elon Musk did tweet that out, or he retweeted it. And it's just like, now you've got the Kamala brain chip. Now there's no fighting it. See, at least with Republicans, you've got DeSantis, who had a way better approval rating than Trump. And I mean, there was a point where we thought DeSantis for sure, in terms of how he was going to do against Biden, would have done better than Trump because he was more likable. But people still stood by Trump because they support their candidate. It's not just this thing because the establishment Republicans, they wanted DeSantis, they wanted Nikki Haley. It didn't happen. The establishment Democrats, I'm actually not even sure the establishment Democrats are in control. It's probably somebody above them. But no matter what they want, they will get. And you insert the little chip. Now you got to support Kamala. I mean, tomorrow, let's say Kamala, something comes out, something crazy bad comes out about her. They replace her with Newsom. All these people, I mean, Newsom's the great white hope. Tomorrow, that's what they're saying. He's the best ever. And they insert the Newsom chip. Take the Newsom chip out. January 6th now. We got to debate January 6th. Put the January 6th chip in. Take it out. Now Tim Walz, we got to defend him. And by the way, Tim Walz, what a mess he is. I mean, it's the stuff that comes out about Tim Walz is just terrible, and they try and it's basically a caricature, like he's trying to make fun of white people with how dumb he is. Like he's the caricature stupid white guy, and Kamala is this badass minority, and they're just trying to make fun of us. It's pathetic. Like, oh yeah, he's America's dad, but I mean, he's a far left dude. So what are you really trying to say? It's ridiculous. But even Aasta is coming out now and saying that this is crap. I mean, you need to come out and do an interview or something. But again, I have to be fair to the campaign manager. The campaign manager is basically getting asked these questions, and he's like, I got to be honest with you, man. Kamala hasn't done anything, and she's gone way up in the polls, so we might just hide her until the election. Now, he didn't say that directly, but he, if he was going to be honest, he was like, we'll talk about doing something maybe down the line. Maybe we'll have an interview in October. Maybe we'll do it right before the election, whatever. We've scheduled one for like October 25th. Don't worry, we're going to do it. But he's really thinking like, why would we do an interview? We're being rewarded by keeping Kamala shielded from everyone. Remember, these are the people that are obsessed with democracy. Well, part of democracy is knowing the candidates, and it's not this Soviet shield to where it's like they keep her behind fences and you don't know anything, and it's just like, just vote for her, install the chip, vote for Kamala. That's all you need to do. You don't need to worry about what she wants. It doesn't matter. You don't need to have her questioned. It doesn't matter. Just vote for her. And this is just, you want to talk about democracy. What about her actually doing something, considering she didn't win a primary? She is entitled, and she feels entitled to this position, which I think is embarrassing. And that's something no one else is talking about. She is doing less than the bare minimum, and she's getting away with it. And so it's very sad. So why would the campaign manager say we're going to do something different? It just doesn't make any sense. But the polls, I mean, again, this is like 2020, 2016. I'm saying because she's leading everything now except for like a few of the swing states. I mean, there's even like Arizona polls that say she's leading. No, I think technically right now, Trump is still leading Nevada pretty clearly. I mean, there was even a liberal poll that said Trump was up by 5 in Nevada. Trump is leading Arizona. Trump is leading North Carolina, even with that tie. You've got the crap in Florida. Nobody believes it. Some liberals do, but not many. The same liberals that believed those polls believed Biden was going to beat Trump, and even Obama said those people were dumbasses, and that's why they replaced Biden. The polls in the Rust Belt have been wrong, and that's what the CNN poll bitch boy said in that TV segment that I showed in the last video. So all of this is going on right now, and I mean, no, this is it right here. No, this is a great point. The objective for Kamala is to win this election. The objective for Kamala is to win this election. If a press conference helps her win, she should do it. If not, she shouldn't do it. It's just that simple. She has no moral obligation to talk to the press. Tone it down, folks. So there it is. The party of democracy doesn't want their candidate talking at all to give us insight into what they're going to do when they're president. This is totally... There's no transparency with these people. And really, this goes back to Biden as well, because Biden said, all right, I'll do 2 debates, but the first one has to be in June. And listen, there's a lot of people, and this is another really good point. Let's be honest, it was a big error for Trump to agree to that debate in June, a big error. Now, sure, you could say if Biden didn't have that debate in June, his poll numbers wouldn't have tanked like they did. And I agree with you, that just sunk his entire candidacy. But Trump should have said, listen, we're going to have the first debate in September. I know he couldn't see the future, but people are right that was a big mistake. He should have never agreed to that debate in June. Liberals could have spun it however they want, like he's scared, but that doesn't even make sense. Trump could just say, we'll do 3 debates in September, or 2 in September, 1 in October. We're not doing a debate in June. This is very weird. This has never happened before. You can say I'm scared. No, I'm just saying let's wait until September till we get closer to the election. That would have been a good argument from Trump, and he got baited into it, unfortunately. And that's something where his advisors really need to be better and understand that. But because now you would still, listen, they could have still removed Biden, I guess. They could have, but it would have been harder because Biden's polling numbers wouldn't have tanked like they did to where it was so obvious. And there would have been a lot less pressure. Because remember, before the debate, they were all in on Biden. That's when they started saying, oh, they're all AI. They're faking it with Biden looking bad and being old. He's not really that bad. They were fully bought into Biden. Trump was suckered into that debate in June. it was sad to see, and this is how they are. But Biden does terrible, and all of the advisors, CNN, they don't even go to commercial. They immediately change the narrative. They're like, oh, we got to get Biden out, get him out, get him out, get him out. And they did. I mean, for them, this is working out perfectly. Unfortunately for the Democrats, you've got Kamala Harris not having to be questioned at all. She's been installed. It's been beautiful for them because, I mean, this is like better than you could expect in terms of polling. We know polling is wrong all the time, but still, I'm sure they're very happy about what's going on. And now they're thinking with the DNC upcoming, it's only going to help them more. So that was not a good idea for Trump to agree to that debate, but this is the liberal mentality. Just keep her shielded. She doesn't have an obligation. It's just like when, they cheated in 2020 by silencing the Hunter Biden story. The rules don't apply to them. They can do whatever they want. And so that's what he's saying. He's saying, we can censor stories. We can just cheat. It doesn't matter. The rules don't apply to the Democrats. And now he's admitting it. They don't have an obligation. They don't care. All that matters is she wins. So this is good. I like that he's at least being honest. This is a really good tweet. So you can see that right there. But we'll see what ends up happening. Rasmussen's coming out with a big poll tomorrow. I think probably Trump will be up by 2 or 3 because they do the daily polling, and he's been up by 2. So it's probably going to be 2 or 3 in the Rasmussen. You want to say Rasmussen is conservative. That's already been disproven because they leaned left in 2020. I did a video on it talking about it. So they're very accurate, and there are some polls that are more accurate than others. It's hard to really say for sure. Quinnipiac was really bad last year. A lot of the mainstream is bad. CNN leans to the left in terms of bias. Fox News leans to the left in terms of polling bias, where they overestimate Democrats. ABC as well, especially the swing states, the Rust Belt. But either way, guys, it is going to do it for this video. Make sure you follow me on X. Link to that's always in the description.